The KA engines were a series of inline-4 four-stroke gasoline piston engines manufactured by Nissan, which were offered in 2.0L and 2.4L versions. The engine's blocks were made of cast iron, while the cylinder heads were made of aluminum. Despite their large capacity, this motor was not equipped with balance shafts. When used in the passenger cars, both versions of the KA24 used a crank girdle, as opposed to individual caps. In the Nissan hardbody and Frontier applications, a crank girdle was not used. KA20, KA20DE. The 2.0L KA20DE was a smaller displacement KA engine used in Japan and other world markets for several vehicles: Nissan hardbody, Nissan Caravan, Nissan Atlas, Isuzu COMO. Specifications: DOHC, 16-valve inline-4, bore X/86.0x86.0, max power 88 kW at 5200 rpm, max torque 171 Nm at 2800 rpm, valve configuration, DOHC, displacement, 1998 cc, compression ratio, 9.51. KA24, KA24E. The KA24E was a SOHC 12-valve engine produced from July 1988 through January 1997. It uses Hitachi sequential electronic fuel injection, and features forged steel connecting rods, an internally balanced forged steel crankshaft, and a cast aluminum intake manifold. Specifications: bore, stroke, 89.0, 96.0 max power, 140 HP at 5600 rpms, max torque, 152 lb-ft at 4400 rpms, valve configuration, SOHC, 12 valves, compression ratio, 8.61, timing chain, applications, 1989 Euro 1990 Nissan 240 SX, 1990 Euro 1997 Nissan hardbody truck, 1990–1995 Nissan Pathfinder, 1989 Euro 1995 Nissan Access/Nissan Prairie, 1990 Euro 1992 Nissan Stanza, 1989 Euro 1992 Nissan Pentara/Ford Corsair, 1993–1996 Nissan Terrano 2 Europe, KA24DE. The 2.4L KA24DE was used in many Nissan cars and trucks. Most KA24DEs bound for the U.S. were built in the Mexican city of Aguascalientes, with the exceptions of the 240 SX, 1994-97 Altima, and the U13 Bluebird released in Australia with FWD configuration, which were manufactured in Fukuoka Prefecture, Japan. The KA24D is very similar to the KA24E. The KA24E is SOHC with 3 valves per cylinder actuated by rocker arms, and the KA24D is DOHC with 4 valves per cylinder and shim-over bucket valve actuation. Design improvements of the dual-cam engine include the use of a NOx sensor, larger diameter girdled main bearings in the Japanese block, different oil pan, different oil pickup, dipstick location and piston oil squirters. In addition to the increased power and torque, the KA24DE has a higher readline than the KA24E. Differences in the Japanese block to Mexican are also present. The Mexico blocks implemented a distributor and oil pump drive more similar to the L series. From the crank nose, they also used a single-row chain for the upper timing assembly with no valve cover mounted guide. In addition to this, they removed the rearmost cam journal in the Mexico head. The crank rides on individually capped bearings with a slightly smaller diameter than the Japanese block, with shorter, slightly lower compression pistons in cylinders who have thicker walls than the Japanese DE. They retain the NOx sensor and piston oilers. Specifications: bore, stroke, 89.0, 96.0 displacement, 2389 cc, max power, 155 HP at 5400 rpms, 110 kW at 5600 rpms, max torque, 160 ft-lb at 4400 rpms, 208 Nm at 3600 rpms, valve configuration, DOHC, 16 valves, compression ratio, 9.51, 240SX 91-98, 9.21, Navara Frontier, 9.31, Xterra engines. Timing chain, applications, 2000 to 2004 Nissan Xterra, 1998 to 2008 Nissan Navara Frontier, 1993 to 2001 Nissan Altima, 1993-1999 150 HP, max torque 154 ft-lb. Changed HP in torque in 2000 January, 1991 to 1998 Nissan 240SX, 1997 to 2000 Nissan Renesser, 1998 to 2001 Nissan Prestige U30, 1999-2001 Nissan Bassara U30, 1993-1997 Nissan Bluebird U13, Isuzu COMO, Nissan Largo, swaps. The KA 24D is a popular engine for swaps, due to its strength, availability, and simplicity of design. It has been swapped into a number of vehicles, mainly other Nissan Datsun products. See also, List of Nissan engines, references. This article incorporates information from the equivalent article on the Japanese Wikipedia.